And welcome back to Scav Talk, everyone. Today's episode, we are returning from a little bit longer hiatus than our usual regularly scheduled program, but we're back. We got lots of Tarkov stuff to discuss, talk about, arena, teasers from Nikita and the team, crossovers, and other games we're excited for.
Yep, that's pretty much it. So we'll just go through from the beginning, go through some news stuff. It's been like random bitty things that have happened over the last couple of weeks, which has been, I don't know, some interesting things. I think the main part that is new, because some of the stuff is a little old, but one of the newest things we've seen was actually only put out earlier today, maybe about 10 hours ago, which was the Tarkov Arena Q1 2026 like preliminary plan. It's not even really like a roadmap. It's quite funny actually, because underneath it says, please note the features listed above are preliminary and may change by the time the update is released. So who knows? But so at the moment they've got quality of life improvements, new in-game task line, which is kind of cool. Like I quite like doing the arena task lines, match history, a profile viewer, which I don't think you can really see in arena properly at the moment. Shootout 2.0, and I think Shootout used to be this like, it was this weird like 2v2v2v2 kind of game mode that people just were like sitting around a bunch. I think I remember seeing something about this where they said that they were going to I can't remember where I read it now. They were going to rework it so that different matches happened concurrently, so you didn't have to just like sit about and watch other people play their games. Because that was kind of the biggest problem with it. It was like really silly, right?
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember those
Remember, and you
days.
used to go into like the stadium, like into the stand kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I mean,
It
if
was
it's
really
like
weird.
yeah, I mean, I think it was like a cute idea, but it was just not fun, you know.
It's like one of those Tarkov ideas where they're like, oh, this is like so cool and immersive, and like the very first game you play, you're like, oh, I can drink a vodka in the stand and like cheer the team on, and then after
Right.
game number 2, you're just like, I'd rather just be playing the game. I think
Yeah.
actually. So yeah, so I think they're kind of reworking that. Shootout's not been available for ages. They deactivated it a long time ago. And then they've also got the Battle Pass Season 2 coming. I don't know. I mean, it says for Q1 2026. I mean, that implication is before the end of March. We'll see. A new tactical map. The integration of the EFT patch 1.0 changes to EFT Arena, because at the moment we don't have new guns or anything like that. We don't have the NL 545. God help us when that turns up in Arena. And audio engine improvements and client optimization. So the current Battle Pass goes up to level 120, if I remember correctly, because they added 20 extra levels for the winter one. And the original tactical map is pretty fun. I quite liked it. And so they're going to add a new one for that. That's kind of like their way of doing the paid Battle Pass bit to fund the game, and probably Tarkov as well, and whatever. So like I don't mind that. I think that's fine. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. The in-game task lines are kind of cool. I think they did say that they were going to get. Unfortunately, I think they're taking out the Christmas maps now. So like the Dorms one, the Smuggler's Base, all of those ones. I think they're being
How do you even play
removed.
those?
Well, they only work on Last Hero, I think. So you have to play Last Hero, and then you have to go and pick them. But I think they're gone now. I think they might have even gone with the tree.
Yeah,
So I don't think you play them anymore.
I didn't see them.
It's probably just so that they don't like splinter the player base, because they had lots of people playing those maps while the Christmas quests were on, but now the Christmas quests are gone. There's probably a lot of people not playing it now, because I mean a lot of people play Arena for the stuff. Some people play
Right.
just to play. There's like you've got like a core player base of people who play Arena because it's their like main game. There's a very small number of people who do that. Then you've got a sort of core player base of people who play to complete the dailies, because they are kind of completionists, want to do those and get the XP and whatever. They're like min maxes for XP and the game. And then you've got people who will turn up to play the events and the quest lines to get the thing that the quest line will give you. So once those people are gone, you're back to like a smaller audience. So I imagine that's probably why they've got rid of them. Who knows? But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't mind. I think it's kind of fun. We'll come back to Arena in a little bit, because I don't know. I have a sort of like I definitely have turned on Arena a little bit, but for reasons actually that aren't really Arena's fault. But we'll talk about that in a bit. It's quite a bit longer discussion. So other than that, they did do a survey recently as well. I've got a bunch. I actually don't have the questions to show you, unfortunately, but I mean, I'll just whip through them because it's not too interesting. It was the new survey about gathering feedback about in-game events. We want to better understand which events you remember the most, how often you like to see the events in a game, which direction they should evolve in going forward. And so they basically was like, which game mode do you play? Do you take part in the in-game events? Which is like, I actively participate and try to complete them all. I participate selectively. I complete them naturally during gameplay. I pay attention to the events, but don't complete the tasks, or I haven't completed the task before. How often would you like to see in-game events? Several times a month, every month, once every 2 to 3 months, once every 6 months. I don't want to participate in events. I think I can't remember what I put. I think I might have put like, because I guess the sort of the implication behind this is that the more events you have, the lower the quality is going to be, I guess. So I think I put like once every 2 to 3 months, something like that. Like, I kind of don't really want Tarkov just being like inundated with events. Like
Right.
every couple of weeks, you feel like you have to do some stupid thing, or whatever. So some of the events are good and some of them are not. And like, which event do you consider optimal? Several days, a week, a month, 2 weeks? I just put it depends on the event format, because it kind of does, right? Depending
Yeah.
on exactly what they're asking. Which events did you enjoy the most? Now, this one was quite funny because I'd forgotten how many there actually were, and they did it in chronological order. So it's like Bloodhounds. Which date format is this? Yes, okay. So Bloodhounds June 2023, which I ticked, so I thought that was good. And then July 2023, the TerraUwU Trail. That was the double. That was the really hard one. That was like the 2 stash lines one for those of you who didn't do it at that point. I feel like we had a really good set of events, like all back to back. So it was like Bloodhounds, TerraUwU Trail. Then Christmas was on 2023 was the Unknown Toxin, which is widely seen as like one of the best events ever. Like you spawn in and you've got like a ticking timer, like you got to kill a boss or a scav and find the toxin in 7 minutes or you die, and the extracts don't open until 12 minutes or something. So if you don't find one, you are dead, and it like puts that time pressure onto, other than just the timer, to actually just like force you out. It's so cool. And then the Halloween cult ritual one, where all the cultists are doing the thing, you like summon like crazy
really
Zirachi.
cool.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. Then there was one in it was like March 2024. It's called Winter Tales, and I don't actually remember what that was. I didn't bother looking it up at the time when I read through this in the first place, but I can't remember what the Winter Tales questline was.
Is that the one with the fire, like the random pillars of like wood?
No, so that was later. That was Malasanita, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm going to look it up right now. So where is it? Winter Tales. What was this one? Oh, the Followers of Marana. Oh, it was that one. Oh, yeah. So it was the one where you got like the freezy effect around the outside, and there were random people on like they were kind of down by where Terminal is on Shoreline, or they were up in the scav camp on Interchange, like on the road. Like the tented sort of scav area. Yeah, they were called the Followers of Morana, and they had shattered masks on.
Yes.
And if you went near them, you got like the freezy effect. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite, but it was okay. It was okay. Then what else do they got in here? Halloween Zombies, which is obviously like a really good one. Yeah, for some of the older ones, I guess they just didn't put in here things like the Everyone's Thirsty. Like they didn't put that in the list. I think they widely knew that wasn't people's favorite.
Wasn't there? Maybe this was like a Halloween one, but wasn't there one with like a flare? Like you could shoot a green flare and turn the bosses for you?
Yes, I can't remember which one that was. The poison flare one, because that still exists in the game. You can randomly find that sometimes. It's like
really?
really, really uber rare. Yeah, occasionally you can still find it. So then there's Mortar Strike, Korovod, the Labyrinth, Colotun, which is the recent one. Halloween this year, which was like barely anything, if I remember. Target Tales, which was the like text-based adventure game, which I thought was quite fun. I actually quite like that one. And then then Malice and Each at the end, which is like the light the bonfires with tracer ammo, and it's impossible if you're solo quest, which I wasn't so keen on. So yeah, it was quite like interesting or nice to go back and look at them. Yeah, so they basically just said which elements of the events you like the most. Unique mechanics in game, unique location based events, changes in the weather, story development, blah blah blah. What do you think that they're currently missing? Clearer conditions or more valuable rewards, or events are fine. And then the final part was literally just which event rewards you consider the most valuable. So like unique stuff, achievements, increased stash size, which I was like, yeah, increased stash. I just want more stash size. That's it. That's all I want. That's all anybody wants. And what formats do you like the most? Different tasks for PvE or PvP, shared goal for everybody, different goals, different goals and different completion methods, a format that feels like a separate game mode or stage progression evolving events. So they're clearly thinking about it. I think they were also asking I don't remember where this is now. It was on the Battlestate Twitter at one point where they were asking what people thought about like collaborations and that kind of thing. So they're clearly thinking about it quite a bit, and they've like teased a few things upcoming as well. So I mean, it's more important in 1.0, I suppose, to try and keep people's interest in having events and whatever. Because yeah, it's just a little bit different now. I mean, to be honest, when Nikita's talking on Tarkov TV, it still sounds like still trying to update the game as they were before. So I don't really know how much has actually changed, to be honest. But I don't know. Maybe they're putting a bit more work into the events. We know that they've got a new zombies event coming at some point. We know they've got some collaborations coming up at some point. So yeah, so they're thinking about it, adding a few extra bits in for that. We can skip actually straight. There's some dev clips from Nikita. He's posted like a few different things over the past like week and a half. But the one that was the most interesting was another one of these kind of like short clips of little like films, movie type things that he posted, which has got various bits and pieces. Actually, let me just make sure I can see your side as well. Yeah, so they've got there's like the Tarkov target. So that was another confirmation. I mean, they've teased it pretty strongly that there's some kind of escape from Tarkov crossover collaboration thing coming. I actually haven't played it. Maybe I should go and play that game. Have you played Escape from Tarkov?
I played, like, there's a demo, and I don't know, I didn't really like it. Like, it was like a tutorial mission, and like, I kept dying to the like melee AI because it was just like they would just like path directly straight towards you, so it was just like a DPS kite race. Like, it just really wasn't that interesting. I don't know. And I also probably skipped half the mechanics. And I think I was trying to use a controller or a tutorial, and I was like trying to use a controller that at the time I don't think it had support for. It was like Steam inputting it, so it was a little. It wasn't
jank.
I mean, I would say it was jank. It just wasn't.
It was jank for you because of the control setup.
It was jank for me because the controller, and like, you know, I wasn't too impressed with what I was seeing. But I know a lot of people really like it, so I'm just probably the minority.
Yeah, it's one of those funny games where, I mean, if we look it up, it's one of those ones that kind of like is an interesting idea, kind of blew up into something, had its like big peak before the Tarkov or around the Tarkov release. It's like 27th, 28th of October. It's like 300,000 people, and like now there's like not many people playing, like 6,000. So to be fair, 6,000 is still not bad for like a sort of semi-joke game.
Yeah.
To be honest, it just looks bad because of the chart, but
yeah.
But
well, does it even like multiplayer? Does it even have multiplayer?
I don't. Oh, I don't think it is actually.
Yeah, I think it's just single player.
As I said, I've never played it. I don't know anything about it, but maybe I should give it a go at some point. I don't know. But yeah, so
it's like that one game.
Tease.
Remember that one game from a couple years ago? It was like Zero Civilette or something, and it was like a pixel Tarkov.
Oh, Zero Siva, yeah.
Yeah. That's what it reminds me of.
I never ended up playing that either.
That same kind of phenomenon. Yeah. Me neither.
I should have played that. Apparently that was quite good. That reminded me a little bit of like Project Zomboid or something because of the art style.
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
But yeah, whose hair do we think this is? Like,
I was thinking therapist, but I don't know.
I know lots of people have said therapist, but it's like very strange.
Maybe it's a new character.
I really have no clue. It's very, very weird. And then there's some other frames in here which people have said like it looks like the Icebreaker thing, because I think we know Icebreaker is coming at some point, and it's like it is actually an event of some description. Let me find out. There was a list of where was the Tarkov TV thing? Maybe I can't find it now. Oh no, here it was. Yeah, so the big Icebreaker event and a large quest line in Q1. I think that was supposedly what was coming. So like, yeah, that might be, I don't know, might just drop randomly. It's kind of what happens sometimes on EFT, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. We will see. Yes, but the Tarkov thing does seem to be coming. I don't know when, but they but they've said stuff on their side. They did like a promo code for it, which I'm surprised it hasn't actually dropped already. To be honest with you, like they've been teasing this for a while, and then they posted something on the 31st of January with like, "Want to have a party?" and it's like the Duck, and then the Tarkov guy with Tarkov X, Escape from Duckov, and still nothing. It's like really curious. And then like Tarkov Basement guy's been putting out shorts where he shoots like a little duck off the top of customs, and then turns out there's like a huge duck. Then it like pulls up the blicky and just like annihilates him, kind of thing. But we've still not seen anything. It's a weirdly long tease for what I imagine is probably not going to be like too crazy. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't really know. So other Tarkov news. The only one thing that I've kind of noticed, or at least I saw around on the feeds, was Velium posted about doing setup, because I think he's prestiged again and is working on Prestige 6, which is currently the highest prestige you can get.
Wow.
I mean, these people need to be applauded, because like I can't even, honestly, I just can't even imagine doing it so many times. Like it's just
Lobotomized, maybe. This is the word.
I think yeah, lobotomized by the game at this point, right? Like you do it like 2 or 3 times, and at that point, like the 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 self-restraint part of the brain has definitely been just completely incinerated at that point. So you just have to keep going. Like, God, I can't imagine doing like, yeah, I'm doing capital as a special thing once for like 1.0. But I guess if you're full-time streaming, then like you may as
Yeah, it's a
well,
little
I suppose.
different. Yeah.
Then if you're playing like 8 hours a day,
Yeah.
7-8 hours a day, like as usual, then that's okay. Whereas like, yeah, for me, I only play like maybe sort of 10 hours a week, something like that. So it's like 1 day's worth for a lot of these guys. So like you would just run out of stuff to do otherwise. But yeah, but anyway, so he posted this thing here saying, "This kit's insane for setup. I've got 7 kills with it." And I was just like, "What the hell?" He's like wearing the JPC. Like, this is crazy.
Mm.
And I didn't doubt him, but I was just like, "Whoa, I didn't know you could use that rig." And he was just like, "Yeah, a lot of people think I was lying about this. Like, you can just use it for setup. Like, it's on the wiki. You can now use any of the Ushankers, the Scav Vest, or the JPCs, which is kind of interesting, because the Scav Vest, I mean, for setup, it doesn't really matter because it's a shotgun. So most of the
Yeah.
time, I think you have to use. Do you have to use the 12 gauge as well? I think the only thing that's, or was it an MP series? I think it
It's
might
an
even be an
MP
MP series.
series. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you can't even use the Tigers. It's like there aren't magazines for any. Like it hardly matters that you got a scav vest on, because it's just like a pocket full of shells. It's like
Mm.
there's no mags. It's usually when the scav vest is only problematic for like Punisher Part 4, where like you want to use a normal gun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, they brought these out. These things have, I think they have. Do they have like level 1 armor?
I think
It's like
so.
it's really
Or
weird.
maybe it's
Yeah,
level 0. I can't. It's one or the other.
yeah. It's I think the soft armor is like level 1. Oh wait, no. So there's no. This is where I'm getting confused. So there is no integrated armor at all,
Oh.
and they have level 1 plates. That's
Yeah.
the deal. So they've got these new ones. The Tak Kek Sappy level 3 plus ballistic plate, which is like a replica for airsofters.
Yeah.
So this thing is like the only level 1 armor in the game, except for maybe what else is level 1? Like the glasses, the condors. It's like a pair of
Mm.
condors. But anyways, you can take those plates out and then put something else in. And so with the JPC, that first one, I think you get 5 2x1s and 3 single slotters, which is quite good. And then the other one's probably similar. So like if you do want the rig space, then you can get it. Although it's technically it's an armor downgrade, because like there's no soft armor. There's no reason in this game really to use armor without soft armor. Like there's no point. There really isn't any point. You just pick something with soft armor, because like all the plates are the same size these days. Like the area coverage of these things is all the same. So there really is no point. I had somebody come into chat the other day and just be like, "Why do I never see anybody use the slick?" And I was just like, "Well, yeah, because the slick, it's got class 3, that's fine, but it's basically just a glorified trooper. Like it sells to Ragman for like 130 something K. So you just sell it to Ragman and then buy literally anything else and put the plates in. Like there is zero reason. The game gives you no reason to use it ever.
It's still kind of weird
Which is
that.
kind of dumb.
Yeah, that it works like that. But anyways.
Yeah. So yeah, so you could actually do setup with this now. You can have like a pretty interesting kit overall. So I think he had like the JPC with like a grizzly. So he had the green one, which has got a 2x2, so you can put a grizzly in it, an MP153, the MP18 with a voodoo on it. So it's like the full shebang, the full setup for setup. You know, it's good times. It's good times. Yeah, so that was kind of interesting. But yeah, I mean, the Tarkov's a little quiet right now. Other than that, I think we're just waiting for some events or something. I mean, how far are we in? When was the wipe? It was the 15th, right? That was 1.0. So 15th November. So we are into the, well, which month are we into? So that was
Third or
month one.
fourth. Well,
That was month
third
two.
ish.
So we're towards the end of month 3. So yeah, we're nearly sort of halfway through the wipe as like you would traditionally see it. But yeah, I guess with drops, everybody's relatively wealthy, and I think a lot of people did come back from 1.0. To be honest, there seemed to be a lot more people who've come back and are like playing than ever before. So for my own personal journey, we're working our way towards Kappa. We're doing it. We're doing it. I actually think I don't really have any hard quests left, which is the way I wanted to do it. I kind of did it the top down way because I didn't want to do all the easy stuff and then get stuck on something lame at the end. So I've been trying to do, except for Psycho Sniper, because that one, deserved its own thing. But I've been trying to do the hard stuff in tandem with just like doing the other things. And the one kind of hard quest, I guess, in inverted commas, not necessarily that difficult, but just takes time, is the goons. So that was what I've been working on over the last kind of like week and a bit, is getting the goons. But they've got a 30% spawn rate now, so it's not too bad. But they still have the whole like map to map thing. So I was like kind of asking around, like asking people like, what's the best way to actually find these guys? And the overwhelming consensus seemed to be use the Tarkov PAL Discord for people hunting for the goons. And when somebody finds them, they post it in there, and then it seems to be the best way, because the websites, they all seem to be kind of out of sync with each other. Like sometimes they don't get updated.
Yeah.
Whereas like in that Discord, like somebody will, it's sort of like the one place where people go, and when they kill the goons, they they post it in there and say, oh, the goons are on this map, the goons are on that map. But so often they're on Lighthouse, and I just like banging my head against, just feeling like, oh, I did try the first time. I was like, I am gonna try, because I think the first stream that I did, they were either on shore, I think they were on Shoreline or something, and I just didn't see them. I don't know, unlucky, I'm not sure. Didn't see them. Second time, I was just like, okay, they're on Lighthouse. Let's give it a go. Removed my sanity out of my body, because it was just the usual, right? Just as you would expect. It's like, okay, the goons could be in 2 places in Lighthouse. They're either in the middle of water treatment facility. So, if you spawn at Southern Road or whatever, then you're just out of luck. Even if they spawned, like by the time you get there, someone's killed them or they've moved or whatever. They could also spawn in the shallows as well. But just moving around that map, it's just miserable. Like, I know I wasn't sniping anymore, but even still, it's just like, how are you even gonna like get to those locations? And I just ended up, like, I ran around on one of them, I didn't find them. I was like, well, I'm not going to go all the way across to Chalets because it's just like too far away. So I went through the road camp, and I was like, well, I may as well go and plant my thingy at the drug lab, and like went down there and like came around the corner, and there's just like guys stationary just outside the drug lab, like round one of the like containers. I'm just like, well, I guess I just die here then. Okay, fine. We move on. It's just stationary people everywhere on that map.
Yeah.
It's just, I was like, okay, we're gonna, so like all of my stream tasks was like, right, we're doing the goons, but if they're on Lighthouse, we're gonna do something else. So I just waited until they were elsewhere. Finally, they were on, I think they were on Woods. Tried to find them, they weren't there. And then they moved to Shoreline, and I was like, okay, we'll try and do Shoreline then. And I've not really fought them on Shoreline much, except for literally like off spawn at Blue Fence, where Big Pipe's just like MCXing me from like the literally freaking hill. I'm like, oh god, just like hide behind the Blue Fence and like get charged down by the guy and usually kill him. But this time I was like all the way across the other side of the map, so I was like, okay, we're just gonna have to sprint as fast as we can. So just like sprinted across most of the map, ran over the fallen tree section, further down towards Pier. And from there, I was like, I don't even know really where these guys shoot from. And then I just saw some traces, and I was like, oh, I wonder, is this like a player? And I looked over, and there was like somebody like ducking down behind a rock, and I was like, oh, interesting. and then they popped back up, and it was just like night, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to be fighting for long. This is like the worst fight ever. So I turned and ran. I'm actually very lucky that I didn't get killed, to be honest, because he shot at me a lot. But I was like ducking and weaving, ended up down by. So if you think about, so after you cross the tree, so I was on the tunnel side of Shoreline to begin with. So I like kind of went up to that big spine rock ridge thing over the tree, and then they were straight up ahead, up at the weather station, and were like right on me as soon as I kind of came over, was in the open field. They were like right on me, so I was like, oh god. So I had to turn around, go back the way I came, like down the dip towards the water.
Yeah.
And then there was like some sort of rocky cover around there just outside of the power station in the middle. And so I was like around that bit, and then I just basically waited for them to push. But they were quite close actually. I ended up killing Bird Eye first, thank God, because that actually makes it so much easier. And then the other two just pushed into me. Like Big Pipe wouldn't. He was like firing a ton, and so he kind of gave his position away. I actually peeked him and killed him. Knight like came right up to me and I killed him. And then there was some random guy who like threw a nade, and I was like, okay, well I can't really loot these dudes because like in the middle of nowhere. And I went round and round and round. I just like couldn't find this guy, and I was like, oh, man, if he's camping, like maybe, but like, I think I would have found him by now. One of the bodies was in cover. I think that was Knight because he'd pushed me around the edge of the rock. So I went to go loot him, and he had a smoke grenade on him. So I was like, oh, this is kind of sick. So I went to loot Big Pipe, and then smoke grenaded Bird Eye, who was the one who was like in the middle of the field, and then took his stuff and left. And I was just like, hey, there you go. So the first time I actually managed to find them was a bit luck, in fairness. But obviously good gear, and I think what did I kill them with? MDR, I think MDR and M80A1. Just minced them, to be honest. And I was kind of like looking through their gear, being like, oh, their ammo like really sucks. And I was like, actually, that's a really big double-edged sword, to be honest, because like if the ammo's good, then they just mince you, right? As soon as they see you, you just get deleted. But it was all like M62 in an MCX, M80 in like Bird Eyes, whatever. He had like some other. I think he had 5.6A1 in something in his M4 or whatever. So none of them had very good ammo. And at this point, I'm there with like my level 6 power shield front deflector, right, which is just like impossible to pen. Which is quite. I might do a video about that soon, because you can buy classics plates for 2 rams now. So rams are expensive, but you can get classics plates like all the time. So I've been smashing those into tactics, like really light rigs, and running around with them, and it's saved me so many times. It's actually absurd. Yeah, I feel super geared now, especially after doing some of the extra quests. Like some of the things I'd forgotten about, like what they give you, because like back in the day, do you remember when the Bastion was like really powerful? Because you used to just be able to barter for the class 6 like head thing, and it was just like the class 6 forehead, just like impenetrable, just like so powerful, just like insane. Well, I forgot, and I was actually reminded that when you complete the guide, you can now buy the. It's not the Bastion one, but it's the slap plate. So you can buy the class 5 head thing. Peacekeeper after doing the guide. And I completed the guide the other day because I had 4 already under my belt, and someone was like, "You should just do it because like you've already you survived like 4 weeks." I was doing like other random stuff, so I was like, "Okay, I guess I should do it then." And honestly, I did it in record time. I actually got really lucky for the guide this right, and I had a couple of ones which, like, because you can use the transits to your advantage, and I think the loading time. I'm still not 100% certain. So imagine the scenario where you spawn on customs. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think if this is a good example. Yeah, imagine that you spawn. I mean, it doesn't really matter what map, but if you spawn on customs right next to the interchange transit, and you transit instantly. You spawn on interchange, and that you spawn on the one next to the new smugglers camp, and you run straight to extract, and you pop the flare, and you just leave straight away. I still am not sure whether doing the transit, because the first transit counts as survive and extract, definitely, like that definitely counts. But does the actual final extract count if the entire raid series was under 7 minutes? I'm actually not sure. I don't know. I don't think people were not sure about it in chat either. I think it's a very niche scenario, simply because I believe it counts the loading time as to your raid time from start to finish.
Specifically with transits.
With transits, because if you are in one map and then you transit to another map, you see the timer, and the timer is like your old raid time plus then the matching time is like adds on to like the old raid time. So I think I think you'd be hard pressed to get out of 2 maps in under 7 minutes with a set of loading in the middle. I think it'd be difficult, and you have to wait a minute for the transit anyway. So that only gives you 6 minutes to load into a new map and extract. I think it would be quite hard to do that, to be honest with you. But anyway, so I had one. I think it was the labs one. I got like really, really lucky because of the way I did it in a weird order, because I had 4 maps already down that were like weird maps because I'd done random quests. So I still had to do factory, I think, and labs. So I was like, well, was it streets? I forget. I can't remember. I think it might have been streets. I can't remember. But anyway, so when I went, I think it was streets. So when I went on to streets, I spawned kind of at what do you even call it? Like expo kind of area. And from there you can pretty much just go through Terra Group building across the road and then into the labs transit. And from there I spawned in the stairwell. I spawned in like the which directionality is labs? Not the server stairwell, the other stairwell.
So the last
so I spawned kind of like,
stairwell.
yeah, I know. So I kind of spawned at like the top of the map, I guess you'd call it. And so basically what I did, right, long story short, I ran down the stairs, I appeared after transiting, ran down the stairs, out into, but not down the med corridor, like the other way. I went straight to the backpackless extract that's like nearby in labs and left in like 20 seconds. And because I transited in from another map and I'd already been in the other map for like 5 minutes or something, I could literally leave in like 15 seconds and it counted. I mean, I had to wait like 2 seconds for the transit to open, but then after that, so you got to survive on labs like instantly. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then one of them, I went to Lighthouse. I spawned at the spawn that's next to Path to Shoreline, transited to Shoreline, spawned near the Path to Lighthouse extract, and just extracted back out the other side. So it was literally like the whole raid time was like 4.5 minutes. I was just like, right, Lighthouse done, Shoreline done, no problem. Like labs done in like under 30 seconds. Like no problem. Like the guide, it was like the fastest guide ever. It was crazy. I did get quite lucky with the spawn points, to be fair. But I think you can really crack it out now, like with the transits. Once you've got a couple of the annoying maps done, and there's probably like a real optimal route you can do with the trans, because you don't have to transit every time. So you don't need to use them to do certain pathways. You can like go into a map, transit like twice maybe, and then leave, and then like start again, and then transit, to this one on that one. I'd never really thought about it, and I didn't end up having to. Yeah. So anyway, again, long story short, that allows you to buy like the class 5 forehead. So like a lot of the time I'm running around with like class 6 front plate and a class 5 forehead, and I'm like, wow, we could go and like fight the goons or PMCs or whoever, and it's it certainly helps. So yeah, so now with goons done, I think, what have I got? I've got like there's a bunch of random stuff. I've still got to do the rest of test drive. I did actually end up finishing the AK-12 section, so now I'm on to the RPD and those ones, which are like they're any targets. So there's 50, but it's like any targets. So got that to do. I still got Punished Part 6, like a little bit of Lighthouse stuff, like Easy Job Part 2, killing rogues and things around the helicopter or whatever. In like I think it's like 5 kills there for Insomnia. It's like random stuff. So it's just a couple of like random parts. I think that the one that's probably like highest on my radar is, at this point, is literally like getting the Willer's wallet for the items, but all the other items I have. So pretty much just going to the marked rooms thing for the Willer's wallet, apparently, people have said. And so at this, I don't know. I feel like it's pretty doable now. Like all of the horrible stuff is behind us. It's got to get in there and do various things. It's got to do, what's that other one I'm going to do? The one on interchange. We have to kill scabs with the respirator, decontamination or whatever it's called. Got to do that one. It's just like, it's just like random stuff that's like not necessarily that hard. It just takes some doing. So yeah, feeling pretty positive that we're on the home straight now, which is good. I think in a maybe week or two, probably should be able to get it. We'll see.
Cool.
Yeah. So, I did hear you have been playing a bit of EFT.
A little bit.
How has it been? And it isn't PvE. Like I was wondering. I was like,
no, I would not do. I mean,
so
I might do
you can Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you could do it. You've done SPT in the past. That's true.
Yeah, I might do that, but yeah, I couldn't. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely, as I said, it's definitely much better with a friend. Like I was telling Giga before to cast, I was like thinking, sometimes I'll watch, like I might watch one of your videos or something, and then I'll like have like these, this like calling or longing. Tarkov is like calling me, and I'm like, yeah, that would be fun to like wipe an entire squad and loot their full inventory and get out. And then I think about the reality, like that's like the fantasy. I think about the reality. The reality is me running around in Shoreline, like just spawning in the middle of nowhere, and like I just hear the wind in the background. And it's just me by myself, with my stupid like quest items and my stupid quest kit that I gotta, just like, what am I doing? Like, why am I playing this game? Like, I don't know. So, but I met a friend recently, and she loves Tarkov. Well, I mean, it's not that she loves Tarkov, but like, it's like her autistic fixation. Like, what I mean? Excuse me. It's just like what she's really into right now. So I was like, you know what? I'll play Tarkov with you. I played Tarkov back in the day. Um, and it's actually not that bad. Like, it's kind of fun playing with a duo and doing quests. Like, I don't know, playing by even if I like stream Tarkov by myself, I'm just like, I just constantly just come back to that like existential questions. Like, why am I playing this game? Like, I'm not having fun. I'm playing setup, some freaking Jungus is like in the stupid or not the interchange, the shoreline transit for whatever reason. It's like he's not even using the cheese spot. He was just like, what? It's like, what are you doing there? It's like, actually, there's a quest, so maybe he's doing that. It's just like so unlucky. It's like you never look that way. You know what I mean? It's just like got like an MDR 308. It's like, okay, all right, yeah,
Right.
sure,
Well, actually, you're supposed to check every corner.
yeah, washed up. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's Tarkov. It's all right. But I will say, I did enough of the ref quests that this time I was like, she'll play arena too, and she'll do like the dailies or whatever, because I guess you get ref points, and that helps get your trader rep up. I was like, all right, I'll install arena. I was like, so the ref quest you got to do in the base game is like you got to win a checkpoint match or last stand, or is it final hero?
last hero. Yeah,
Yeah,
last
yeah,
hero.
whatever. And so I was doing last hero, but like I was constantly like, I think the first game I was just like sixth place. Like, and I tried,
When you don't know the map, you will be for sure.
yeah, and I mean, you could do it a little bit, but it's just like I tried. What did I try? I tried to be cute and do like this AKS 74U of iron sights, and it's just like it's just I don't know. You can't really do anything too fun. I feel like with the meta points, it's just like if it just feels very like pick the best.
It's very meta.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know. It's just not very fun or interesting. So, anyways, but I don't really have like I don't even have a good basic site. I was looking through all of them. It's like you got all the crappy like early wipe sites. Like the best you got is probably MRS, but like I don't even want to use that because it's all fuzzy. In arena, you're just
Yeah,
like
you want
constantly getting shot at, so your screen's constantly blurred. I mean, thankfully, it's not like my camera's not flicking 5 million, units to
yeah.
the sky. But
Like it's probably too late now, but like you're honestly probably better off using the standard presets when you first open it up again,
yeah, I realized that
because they
eventually.
used to be dog, but like they're actually really quite good now. They used to
Yeah,
be awful, but like I think like the SR2M one is like is really quite good, I think.
I tried that a
But
little bit. I was just like, I don't know. Like half the problem was like, so when I actually, what's interesting when I was playing last hero Chop Shot, it felt like the competition was like a little less, both in like skill and gear. Because once I started going a couple rounds,
mm,
started learning the map a bit more, and then Switched off the terrible thing I was trying to do, and I was just using like the default HK because I figured like, okay, rate of fire is just gonna be like fire rate and headshots. It's like all I need, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Which that was working pretty well, but like, I mean, there was just people like just straight up like diffing me in skill. Like they just knew the map way better. They knew like
Yeah.
they could hear me sprinting like a mile away and like just instantly knew where I was. You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah.
it's instantly swing out one tap me. It's like, okay, yeah, all right. But so like that most I would get fourth. Right, that's probably like the most I could do, and I don't know if you have to place top 3 for it to count, or you have to place
I
first.
think in Last Hero you literally have to win, which
Yeah,
makes the
well,
Last
that's
Hero ones like
impossible.
really, really
It's
hard.
impossible.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing
Yeah.
that's kind of annoying me is like, because then I started doing checkpoint, but in checkpoint, I literally couldn't kill anyone. My cat's making one too in the microphone. I would shoot them in the head, yeah, they just wouldn't die. So I was getting fed up with that because they had like this like class 6 Alton visor, like the ZZHH on the enforce.
Is that like the Enforcer ones? Yeah, some of the
Yeah,
Enforcer are
yeah.
annoying.
And then
You
like
run into the class 4 damage reduction problem and thing, yeah.
yeah, because I was using, I think the HK had no, it had 5.5A1. It wasn't too bad. But it's just like, it felt like I couldn't kill anybody. And I felt like I was getting gear diffed. Which is really frustrating because I don't want to sit here and like spend these like rubles and GP coins. But I end up buying the, like a decent red dot, the XP S2.
Yeah, one of the holographics,
Yeah. And then I was like, just give me a gun with like M60 and or M61 in it, so I could just like, where's my class 6 penetrator? Because I'm so tired of. So then, of course, I got onto like, I was doing that because I think I kept getting Bay 5, the one with all the like shipping containers.
Yeah.
So I was kind of learning that, but like that map was really hard. Like I go into the center, there's like
That map
5
is hard to start
bajillion
with.
angles. I'm just like, okay, well,
Mhm.
and these guys just know know like all the little things. I'm just like, all right,
Mhm.
well. But I was using the RFB and I think, or was I using the RFB at that time? No, I think I tried the SAG with PB Igolnik basically, but that wasn't working because the
Yeah.
damage was so low. Like you had to hit him in the head, basically.
Yeah.
But that wasn't working.
And then semi-auto, yeah, there's no one uses that gun.
Yeah. Well, I was like, oh, 93 ergo. Maybe I can get some advantage out now. You literally can't. Like, it's actually dumb because I noticed when I was sprinting and you ADS, you lose ergo speed, basically. If you're like not sprinting and then you ADS, it's like insta. It's like way faster.
There's a small delay now. They changed it slightly when they changed it so that you can ADS out of sprint without it not working and got rid of the slide thing. They added this like slight delay. There's a lot of people complaining about it actually.
Yeah. Well, like it's weird because I would have thought my ergo would have like counteracted that, but no, it's just like it's like a fixed value or something. I don't know. So then I got put on the like C map, the newer one. What is that?
Is that Fort?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Which that one was kind of cool. I was actually kind of enjoying that one. I didn't get the C side, the letter C side. That layout was weird to me, but A and B were like, that was the other thing that was kind of weird. Checkpoint. It was like there was mines. Maybe it's that map specifically.
That's going in each other's people's spawns. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. That was weird to me. But I guess
try to stop you from spawn camping.
I guess that makes sense.
Anyways, I haven't played that map for ages. That map used to be like horrendously imbalanced to the high ground team. You used to just be able to like lock the low ground team into their spawn point so that they just literally couldn't leave. I'm not sure if they made some changes to it. I haven't played it for months and months and months.
Yeah. I thought it was fine. We weren't the high ground team, but I don't know. I was kind of liking it, but I mean, the game was actually so close, and we lost by like 20 points at the end. I was just like, kill me, God. Because all of my other games were just like we had 16 points and they had like 2,000. You know what I mean? It was just like no
Yeah.
competition. Like, and I don't know. Like, I know I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not like I don't. I just don't know. I don't understand. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna get my friend to help me at some point because get her to carry because I just like I threw myself at it this morning and I probably played for like 3 hours and then someone was like, "Hey, you want to play some Deadlock?" I'm like, "Yes." I yeah, it's saving me.
I know that feeling though. Like sometimes you get a daily and it's just like win 2 checkpoint games, and I'm just like, I know this trap. I'm not getting
Yeah.
sucked into that. Like I know that could just be terrible because sometimes you know you're just not in control. Did you play bowl at all?
No. Well, is
I
that the
think
one with
that
the
for me,
helicopter in the middle?
yes.
Well, wait. There's two helicopters in the middle. There's one with the airplane,
Uh,
and there's one with the
yes, one with the
helicopter.
airplane and one with the helicopter. I play the one with the helicopter is bowl. The airplane
Okay.
one is air pit.
I played that one once. I didn't like it.
What bowl? The helicopter one.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like I literally only play 3 maps on Arena. Like I only play Chop Shop for Last Hero. And
Yeah.
on checkpoint I only play bay 5 and bowl. I think arena, like I think it gets better when you play less maps actually, because you're like one of the people that knows every angle, right? It's like I play
Yeah.
every other checkpoint game I play on bay 5, so it's just like, you know, every container, every like every like, you know, oh, that guy's made like one half muffled footstep on metal, it must be just like
Yeah.
echolocate the guy across half the map, right? It's like it's
Exactly.
crazy. But and I quite like bowl because it's a bit bigger, but bowl can be like really stompy though because it's quite far.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a while to get from one place to another. So like one person can hold off like a lot of people, and if you have like one or two people who know what they're, this is the thing. It's like you have like it's very much its own thing. Like you can't just turn up. Like I guess you could turn up and be good at FPS games and but you'd have to be like super 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 good to like outweigh. Like you got to play it in like a very certain specific way. Like the game mode is its own game mode. Like last year less so, but like checkpoints, like it's very much its own thing. And once you get used to it, you're like, oh, I kind of see what I see how I'm supposed to do this now. But like, yeah, some games you just lose, but it's crazy. Yeah, it's just like it's that's why I've been sort of, well, I was building up towards my like 100 checkpoint games to
100.
try to like prove, yeah. So I think I got to 80. I think I've played 80 checkpoint games now this wipe. Because I wanted to prove that if you had the right strats and you were really like serious about it, you could get an over 70% win rate without like being, you know, too cracked. Like I'm not like cracked, yeah, FPS, but I know the map super well now. So that kind of outweighs, you know, I've obviously got better. Like I'm decent. I'm a decent shot now, but I'm not like pro level by any means. Or, you know, the guys that you see, like the good Twitch streamer guys, I'm like nowhere near their level, right? So like I make up that rest of that skill bit by just like knowing the map and like strategizing. And so I still have over a 70% win rate at like 80 games, which I'm quite
Mm.
proud of. And but I've like I love playing through the dailies, but the problem is that I found myself just spending too much time playing the dailies and the weeklies just to get them done. And like, I don't really want to do it on stream because it takes a long time. I don't want to be playing actual EFT on stream. And then when I'm off stream, like, I should just be actually doing real work.
Yeah.
So I've actually had to have like a bit of an intervention with myself, and I don't think I've completed a daily for about a week now. And I
This
kind of
sounds funny, but
I want to, right? But the thing, it's just like it's one of those things that just every time now I've got myself to this point where I'm just like every time I think about loading it up, I'm like, I could be doing something better with this time, honestly. Like if I'm like serious, if I'm like honest with myself, like I
mm-hmm.
definitely could be doing something better with this time. And I'm a little bit sad. I just I know it's true, but I'm a little bit sad about it actually, because I do actually enjoy playing Arena
Mm.
and doing the dailies, but it's a bit of a time trap. And I say to myself, look, if I get to the end of the day and I've got like a bit of spare time, then I'll do them. I never do. So this is the thing. I'm just like that time was just like I was just taking that time away from other stuff that like I actually need to be doing, and that those things end up going like into other pockets of time that I really shouldn't be using for like working on stuff. So I was just like, oh god, I just like I haven't been playing for a while. So I don't know. I will see. Maybe I can go back and like min max it and say like, right, I could play. Like, I have to re-roll. The problem is like re-rolling them all into like Last Hero and completing them in one go now costs a horrendous amount of money, and you end up just running out of cash because they've actually, I mean, they've kind of crafted the economy in quite an annoying way now, which is like it's good in a good way, but it's annoying, right? If you just before you used to just be able to like roll them all into last area, you play one game, you made all the money back just with the rewards. But now, if you want to get all the battle pass rewards, you have to play like refs roulette of bloody cosmetics, right? To like get all of the stuff. I still have 2 to go. I have the epic and the legendary items to go, which is like a 5% chance and a 2% chance. And every time you roll refs crate, you get like 0.5% extra added onto your chance. I'm just like, God, and they cost
Oh
like I've got
wow.
nothing else to buy now except for these things. And they cost 40 BPs to buy a new ref crate, right? You get 2 for a daily and 6 for a weekly, I think. So it takes you ages. You can buy, how many is it? Is it 8, 10? I forget. I can't remember. But it's like 2.5 mil or 250 GP coins. But now they've
Mm.
made the thick cases cost 500 GP coins. Like the GP coins are almost more limited. Like I've got a lot of thick cases now, but as it's like, well, I've been used a lot of my GP coins for that. So do I want to buy BPs with that? But I've still got to do it like 3 times. If you do it every day, it's like 2.5 mil every day. And I'm just like, that's like a lot. It's like a lot of big money drain, actually. I'm not sure if I could do that. And then I've got to try and re-roll the quest. It's just like, oh god. So I've just kind of opted out for the minute because I'm like, I don't know. And I haven't really figured out what I'm going to do with that. I'm like, because like if you just don't get those things, do you just not get them in the battle pass? I don't know. Like if you just don't roll those items, so they just go away when the second season comes through. You just never get them. It's like I don't know, kind of annoying. It's like I've completed everything. I've opened so many of these freaking crates, and it's just like it's like it's like a 6% chance for the legendary one or whatever it is, or like 3% or 4%. I can't remember now. Something small. And I'm just like, well, I probably should have got it by now, but I've opened so many, and the chance is still so low, and it takes so long to get the next one. And again, I really should be doing something more productive. I'm worrying about not getting the cat
Yeah.
spray for my weapons camo.
I'm glad you're taking steps to better yourself. This reminds
Oh
me,
yeah.
I I recently came across on YouTube like Yu-Gi-Oh anime from like
Mm.
I don't know, early 2000s. I remember like watching as a kid. And so I went down that nostalgia rabbit hole and it's like so cheesy and everything, but then it's like, oh man, I want to play a card game of Yu-Gi-Oh. And like I went and then reinstalled. I don't know. There's like one a modern one that's like live service whatever,
Okay.
and I just wanted to play like a story mode. I wanted to feel like I was in the anime. I didn't want to do multiplayer. I didn't want to do anything to try because the Yu-Gi-Oh card game is like, in my opinion, it's just like horrendous. I mean,
I never actually played it.
it's basically revolves around like summoning monsters and magic cards and trap cards, but it's like those 3 things they like have the most game breaking stuff, namely like the magic and trap cards. Like you can just actually like, oh, delete your entire monsters on the enemy field. Okay, it's just like cost nothing. Pot of greed, draw, cost nothing to play it. You could just draw 2 cards, which I think the cards ban. Anyways, point being, I was like, okay, let me try this other Yu-Gi-Oh game that I have in my library or something. And there was that was like a mobile one that's like ported to PC, but still has like the you know vertical slice mobile UI. And I kid you not, it's just like I'm getting hit with like pop-ups after pop-ups of like collecting tickets, and I'm just like trying to click through all the red buttons and things because I'm like, I just want to play a story mode and be like Yu-Gi-Oh! Man. I just want to believe in the heart of the cards and have these cheesy voice lines go back and forth. But no, it was just like so eventually I was just like, you know
That's
what?
funny.
I need to because I actually I remember playing that and like these things like they get you like hooked in. It's just like they dopamine squirts and oh, I get a rare ticket I can trade in for a legendary card from this pool and complete my collection and unlock a new deck which will give me XP to my total character progression which will unlock this new cosmetic skin. It's just like it's a lot. So yeah, I kind of
They know how to get you.
yeah, retention mechanics. Yeah. So yeah,
Exactly. Highly engineered.
yeah.
Kind of reminds me of the time that I went. This is like a long time ago, but I went back to watching some of the old Pokemon anime stuff when I was
Mm.
in university. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch. Like some of that stuff was like so much fun. And again, it's like just a big nostalgia trip. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily like hold up, but it doesn't need to because
Right.
it's just about nostalgia. And after like I think I did watch like a couple of seasons, and then I was like, okay, I'm getting a little worn down by this
Yeah.
actually. Like I'm gonna have to start like I'd have to start like filtering out to like get rid of the filler episodes because a lot of them were
Yeah.
just not really for anything. I was like, okay, we'll just like we'll filter out those. We'll basically like try to just do the important ones. And after a bit of doing that, I was like, okay, this is fine. But basically now I'm just gonna, I've got to skip a lot of this stuff. We're just gonna have to go like pretty much jump to like the gym leader fights,
Yeah.
and then to like the leagues, and that's it. And then it was kind of like, why am I even watching this now at this point?
Yeah.
I think I can't remember. I can't remember when I stopped. I sort of lost the track of like what was even going on. And I was like, oh, never mind. But I did give it a good go. I just remember like some of those old ones. Just the nostalgia is like so strong for some of these old things that you watched when you were younger.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's crazy. I think like Pokemon's like it's got like this sort of deep obsessional quality for me because I was like super into Pokemon and I had like I had the cards and like wanted to play the game and the card gaming people and stuff. But then people started getting Game Boys
Mm-hmm.
and everyone was playing like Pokemon on the Game Boy, so no one was really interested in the cards anymore, particularly.
Mm.
And people still collected them and stuff, but like everyone was playing like versus battles on the Game Boy, and I was not allowed a Game Boy as a child. I was not allowed.
Damn.
That was the line that my parents decided to draw in the sand, probably for the best. I'd already proven myself an addictive style personality to things like this when I got totally obsessed with Tamagotchi when I was about I can't remember how old I must have been like 7 or something. I was like
Yeah.
waking up in the middle of the night to try and feed this thing and like just going crazy. So I think that like that contributed towards the like, yeah, this is probably not a good idea. But I think for that reason, there's kind of this sort of like there's like a missing hole that never really got filled properly because I really did love Pokemon and like
Mm-hmm.
it probably, I mean, that probably did start off like why I like started emulating stuff later because I was just like I never got to play the games. So like I played them on the PC years later after I figured out how to emulate, the old handhelds or the Game Boy Advance, whatever it might be. Um, so yeah, I don't know, it's funny. And then to find that it's like still going and like kids are still getting into Pokemon
I
now.
know,
It's
it's
like talking to
crazy.
another set of parents and like, oh yeah, like my 7-year-old's like really into Pokemon. I'm just like really in like 2026, like man, the IP is like so strong. I can't believe it's still going.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. It's just actually insane. Pokemon's good though. I love Pokemon. Although, I'm a purist. There's 151 and no more, as far as I'm concerned. I've played games with the others in them, but they're not real. They're
Yeah,
figments of your
it's
imagination.
yeah. It's not
151
that
Pokemon. That's where it's at.
it really is just like nostalgia so strong. I tried playing a ROM hack for one of the Pokemons and it was like this complete new um, you know, custom campaign and they had like all these overhauls of like the systems and improvements and then they like backported all the newer generation Pokemons and so I'm sitting here looking at this like crystal pinecone looking ice thing and I'm like this ain't a Pokemon. You know what I mean? It's like what is this? But yeah, nostalgia's a funny thing. I feel like like the past, I don't know, weeks, maybe month. I've just been on like a nostalgia trip for like these old things and IPs and games and stuff. Like, I was just telling Gay I was looking at like Crash Bandicoot videos. Some of that was like just watching. I like watching like game dev documentaries, whether it's like from the actual devs or YouTubers who like research this information and whatnot, or somewhere like professional channels. Like I told you about that Ars Technica and that Odd World thing, which I watched another one with like their entire. They had such a crazy wild ride. Like it's Anyways, the games industry.
That's cool. I know nothing about the behind the scenes of that game, but
Yeah.
Other than what
Yeah,
we talked about last time.
I want to play it. It's just it's I don't know. Getting to it is like committing to it. I guess is the hard part. But yeah, nostalgia. I don't know. It's a funny thing. It's just I don't know what it's just such a weird like is it an emotion? Like it's a feeling, I guess, but it's just like it's weird. Like you said, like you watch the Pokemon things, you're like really into it and so excited, and then like a little bit like that starts to wear off, and you're like, okay, wait, this is like actual like where's the plot? Like what are we doing in this like side story that's meaningless? Like good stuff. uh
Yep. Yep. I don't know. I don't know. So the opposite of nostalgia. Should we go through? So there's actually I've just noticed there's like a lot of things that are coming out soon or announcing or trailers for stuff that I think we should probably have a look at. The main one that caught my eye over the past week was the Road to Vostok early access trailer,
yeah.
which has been released on YouTube. This is the solo dev who was using originally he was using Unity, but then he moved. There was like the big Unity kind of blow up thing,
Remember that?
about like licensing or whatever, and so he moved everything over to Godot. I think that's how you pronounce it anyway, over to the Godot engine. So he's just moved everything over there and has been building code on building stuff. And now I know that he hasn't done everything himself, like quote unquote, because he hired a bunch of people to do some different art and assets and things like that, which is fair enough. But the game is pretty much entirely made by him, and is going to be releasing on the 7th of April. So it's going to be a PVE experience, and it's I don't know. It just looks pretty good. It honestly just looks pretty good. I'm certainly going to give it a try. Just got to wait for Terra to get back.
Sorry, I had to take
I thought
the.
I'd just wait for you to get back. I wasn't sure exactly how long you're going to be.
Sorry about that.
Now, all I was saying was that it's going to be PvE experience. We knew this already, but it looks pretty cool. I mean, one thing that did strike me about the trailer
Mm-hmm.
is it just how much, especially there's a clip of like actually the one you're looking at right now, just how much it looks like EFT. There's something about the rendering, the way that the engine kind of like renders stuff. It just looks so much like Tarkov. I think it's like of a particular time, using certain technologies. I don't know. It's almost got this sort of nostalgic thing for me looking at these things, being like seeing something new. We don't know where it is because we've not played it, but it kind of looks like Tarkov. Obviously, it's different in many ways. There's lots of things that are different about it, but it's sort of got that aesthetic to it that reminds me of EFT. So I'm certainly interested to see how this pans out because, yeah, as I said, the guy's been building this on his own. He has hired out some of the art and whatnot, but it's mostly built by him. So it's kind of like one guy's vision, and he's like,
Oh
I've listened
wait,
to some of his. Hmm?
sorry. I think I see what you mean now. This looks like Reserve
Is
now.
this with the voodoo? Kind of, yeah. And like the trees, the way the trees look, even just the models of the trees, and like
Yeah.
just how like the lighting looks, and like the fog in the back, like the way the fog goes for the distance. I don't
I
know.
mean, I
There's just so
kind of see
much of
what
it
you're
that looks
saying,
similar.
but at the same time, it's kind of like, well, that's the. I mean, they're both going for realism, right? So they're both gonna look fairly similar in that regard, I guess. But I kind of see what you're saying.
But I say it in the same way as that. Unless you like heavily modify the engine, you can kind of tell that the games are in Unreal. It's sort of that kind of vibe to me. Like
Hmm.
this looks like old factory underground. Like just the way the wall textures look,
Yeah.
like before they did the factory rework. Do you know what I mean? There's something about it, and like the way that like stuff silhouettes and the way it's a lot of it's about the foliage, the way the trees, because trees are different in different games, so they look different. They don't look the same. In this game, they look very similar to the Tarkov trees. They just have that same like I don't know the same feel to them.
I know what
Just
you mean,
look like
but
the same trees. I know it's in the same area. I know it's the same kind
that's
of
the
tree. So I
thing.
don't
I
know.
felt like,
But
yeah.
like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's something about it, but I quite like that actually. I quite like it. So no, I'm fascinated to see how this comes out. I mean, as we said, it's PVE, but that means that you can spend more time on
Ooh.
immersive elements. The end of the end of the trailer is really funny, by the way, for anybody who hasn't watched it and listen to it with the music on, and it's like full kind of like Russian hard bass boom, 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 in this truck. to end it, which is quite it's quite a fun little, I guess, juxtaposition with the rest of the trailer, which is quite serious. And it announces the the date. But no, I've actually probably listened to more dev blog stuff of this game than I have actually played any of the demos. And just like listening to him, he's a really interesting guy first and foremost, and just like his background and like going into the project. It's one of those things where when you make a project, and the Tarkov is like this. So Tarkov's like the bad example, and this is like this game's like the good examples. You go into a game, you go into a project like Tarkov, and you're like, oh, we're going to make this like web game. Actually, maybe we'll make it into a PC game. Oh, actually, maybe we'll make like 7 maps. And like, oh, maybe we'll make it online, and maybe we're going to add all this stuff, and like, maybe we're going to add this. Maybe we're going to add body drag, or maybe we won't actually. Maybe we'll like, oh no, we'll add flares. We'll add this. It's just like feature creep as a project.
Yeah.
Whereas this game, the way that he's always talked about it, and I can't remember his name, so forgive me, the Mr. Finnish lead dev, because he's genius. He's like, right from the beginning, he's just like, if I'm going to do this on my own, I need to basically know exactly what I want to do right from the start. I need to work for them. Like most of the stuff that he did at the beginning was like, how do I like procedurally generate assets, textures, wrap models, like build things. It's how do I make systems scalable from day one? Like he spent a lot of time thinking about that first. It's like really smart. Obviously, it's what you need to do, but you need to have like enough experience.
Yeah.
And he has got like loads of disparate experience and like other things that he's kind of like all brought together to go, I have done enough other projects in general, and it's not even necessarily like building a game. I can't remember exactly what his history was. But he's like, I've done enough other things to know the things that I need to watch out for and the things that might trip me up later. So I'm going to solve those scale problems like on day one, or in the first year, and then from there, then I can just build the whole thing and it'll work. And I'm sure there's been issues and trip ups or whatever along the way, but like if you start with that mentality, that's like how you end up being able to build something like this. And not just get like snarled up in dev hell for 10 years and actually be able to release it. So like I'm fascinated. I want to see the end product. I played a very, very, very early demo, like maybe even 2 years ago or something. It was a long time ago, and I haven't played any of it since. So I'm quite excited just to play like the final thing and see like what is the product of that type of development work. Like see what's possible, and kind of see what we brought for us all, because I think it looks cool. And it's cool. It's very similar to Tarkov, right? It's like the Finland Russia border. I'm not sure exactly the story, but again, it's an area that has gone into disrepair, sort of post-apocalyptic kind of vibe. There's I don't know if it's like you're in the middle of war or whatever, but something bad's happened. It's very Tarkov-like in that respect. So yeah, we'll see. And then there's different areas where you can like go into sort of the high risk areas and then come back out again. And I sort of imagine it almost a bit like the Transit SPT kind of mods type thing.
Yeah.
I think I feel like it'll play a bit like that, really. But yeah, I've kind of kept away from a lot of the like mechanical aspects of it because I sort of just want to like experience it. So it's probably like Tarkov, but more like the Stalker game that it should have been, because it's PvE and you can control the narrative a lot more closely and like have the game be catered to like you individually. Like, oh yeah, multiplayer changes everything, right? It's like you can't be. It's hard to make a game where you're the main protagonist and have it be like super compelling. I know Tarkov's got the story mode now, but you're running around with everyone else. Everyone else completing the story. It's like whatever. Whereas in this game, you can be like the one person that goes and finds the thing and does the stuff and is the guy and whatever. Like it's just different narrative and storytelling. So yeah, so it seems cool. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm glad it's like coming to its conclusion. I think right now you can get early access on sale for €15, and then the launch price will be 20, which
I actually missed that. I should probably buy it.
yeah, it's kind of a steal. Yeah, I saw it in his Discord. Basically, long story short, he wanted to do like a supporter thing, and maybe no early access, but based off market research and from advice from people who have, published a Steam game or published a game on Steam before, they basically like just do one edition. It's just going to be so much simpler. So he's basically doing like a Steam sale now for early access, and then once the game's released, and that's like his way of being like, this is the supporter edition or vice versa, whatever. He's like, "This
supporter
is
price, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. If you want to buy in early, which I think that's cool. I mean,
Damn,
I
that's so
mean, for
cheap though, man.
20,
Like,
I know for like €20, like seems
oh,
kind of
that's so
like a
cheap.
steal if you like Tarkov, because I feel like you're gonna get something out of this, even if you do only play for like 2 hours. I feel like that's pretty. I played the demo, one of the earlier builds, and one of the things I liked was the hideout. You could fully, you fully placed all your items physically in the
Hmm.
hideout. There might have been that might have been like an extra thing. I thought that's kind of neat because you could you would get like shelving and you could store more stuff like physically, and then you can like mount your guns and stuff. And I don't know, I thought it was kind of cool. It was a cool little made it kind of more personalized. It felt neat.
That is cool.
I'd be curious.
I'm having.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it now. I can't see any way to buy this. Maybe you can buy it. Maybe the early access launch is the 7th. Is
It's
that
coming to early Steam Early Access on April 7th. Sorry, yeah, I missed that little detail. So that's when
okay?
the
Because I
early
was just
access
like,
is
I was like, oh
coming.
yeah, let's go and buy this thing. I'm just like, okay, I can't. But
Yeah, my
yeah, fine.
bad.
So you can't buy it now. The game plans to unlock in approximately 8 weeks. There is a demo. I'm not going to play it though. I want to just play the proper
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, €15. Like, it seems like very good value. But anyway.
So what were some of the? You were telling me there's some other games you're looking for. I know Marathon's on the list because that's
Well,
what.
so yeah, Marathon's on the list. Marathon is March the 5th. So that's actually really soon. That's in like 4 weeks.
Yeah,
At this point, I will play it. Yep, they said they're going to have a solo mode in there. So I will play it. I'll give it a try because nothing to lose, you know. Maybe the game's good.
mm-hmm.
They've changed a lot of stuff. They keep like releasing things now.
Propaganda. I mean,
Like, yeah, basically, yeah. So I don't know. They I mean, they know that the game's kind of tainted. Like everybody knows that the game's like bit tricky, but they put out like a bunch of like random lore stuff, um, various bits of gameplay and whatever. But nobody really knows how it plays yet because I think that all the playtests have been closed. They said they were going to do. What are they going to do? They were going to do like one open
I
weekend
think
of it
they're
now,
gonna do
close to the time. I think.
something close to release. There's gonna be like one big open free
Yeah.
try it, see if you like it type of thing,
So
which I
that
think is good.
let me see if they've actually announced it yet. Let's see. Marathon will be available for free trial weekend. Yes, we'll have an open preview. The weekend before its release. So I said, what was it, the 5th of March? That's what I said.
Yeah, I'd be like, what?
Yeah, the 5th of March. So it should be the 28th and the 1st of February.
Okay,
It should be the end of February. So we could be playing or should be playing in 3 weeks' time the marathon like free weekend
cool.
to decide whether to get it on the 5th, which will be interesting. We will check it out and we will see how it feels.
Yeah,
All players will be able to participate. I think it's a good idea,
yeah.
but I've seen a few things, you know, like because it's you know Sony's confident in Marathon after seeing player feedback.
Hmm.
You know, they've said they've taken on a lot of feedback and there's good stuff, bad stuff. You know, we've taken it into consideration and modified. So I mean, it does seem like they've changed quite a bit. We'll see. I mean, the core game is still sort of the way it was before, but well, I don't know. I think the runners are different, and they've changed a lot of stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We've
Yeah.
said enough about Marathon already. We're gonna have to wait 3 weeks, play the test, and just see what happens. The next one is there's a game that has kind of like come out of nowhere. I started seeing lots of people talking about it on Twitter. It's called War Dogs, and a reveal trailer showed up 2 days ago from it's a Team 17 published game. The developer seems to be a studio called Bulkhead. War Dogs, a tactical all-out warfare FPS. So in the trailer, it basically says you're a contractor as a solo or a squad. There's 3 teams. It looks like Battlefield as mechanically. So you're
Mm-hmm.
like, there's tanks and helicopters, and you're blowing stuff up with RPGs and shooting other soldiers and whatever. It seems to be, and there's 100 players with 3 teams. the difference here seems to be that when you get kills, you get money, and the money, the implication is that you use the money to buy your loadout, maybe, or like upgrade your loadout, or something. I'm not really sure. So you invest in your kit with the money you get. You can then also build stuff. I'm not 100% sure. Like, I haven't had a chance to look through all of the footage from, because there's some people who I think have played like some of the closed tests or whatever. I haven't seen any of that yet. But the idea is that you're trying to like capture this control zone, and it looks like you can build the control zone up. So there's, which is like, that appeals to me, right? There's like some kind of building mechanics there. There's some like fortifications. I quite like these games that have got these layers of mechanics over the top, right? There's some kind of economic layer over the top of the game.
Yeah.
Just like, some resource or whatever. It's a bit like, I enjoyed my time. I think we talked about it a long time ago, but I enjoyed my time playing Squad. It's a little bit, it was a little bit serious, a bit, and a bit too simmy in some ways for me to like really want to play it like all the time. That's why I definitely didn't want to be squad leader or anything. I just wanted to be like, cog number 6 in the squad. But it sort of looks, I don't know, it looks like it could be cool. It's like some weird economic loop over the top of like Battlefield style gameplay. It says it's not an extraction shooter. It says it's not a battle royale specifically within its marketing, which I think is a good way to go.
That's interesting. Yeah.
It looks interesting. There's lots of people who've said like it looks interesting, and it could be kind of fun. People really like the recent Battlefield, although I know the player numbers are down a bit because the retention's not necessarily that great. So like, because what like really keeps you playing? I don't know. I think in this day and age, people want a bit more than just like to do the thing, and it's like, oh, grind the skins. Like, okay, fine, that's right, but like we've all done that forever now.
Yeah.
So what's the point? So I don't know. We'll see if this might have some like some staying power. I don't know. I'm really not sure. It looks like some kind of weird combination of like a few different games. So
It sounds interesting though. Battlefield, three teams, and you like have this economy
with money overlay. Yeah, with this economy overlay. Yeah,
it definitely sounds like it could be something.
CS economy over the top of like
right.
But you can gameplay. Like I did.
Yeah, yeah, but I assume you could spend that money based off the trailer on building your base. Like, do you fortify? Do you go on defensive or do you go on offensive? Like, I don't know. It seems kind of. And then is this like a shared pool of money? Is it individual? Like, it's.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's gonna be, because it says the teamwork always works out, so you probably get some cash for like saving people and whatever. But like the scale is like pretty big. It's like tanks, helicopters. There's like literal artillery shown in the clip.
Yeah.
So the map's like, this is like, it's like pretty big scale. Like it's bigger scale than Battlefield.
Yeah, it's just like Battlefield big mode or whatever they call it. I forget. They got like a big 64 versus 64. Maybe it's 128 versus 128 now. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know. So it's like, you're going to need like a commando. Like who commands this? Is it like overall resources? I don't know.
Interesting.
I'm not really sure. I mean, it almost looks a little bit like, what was that RTS game? I can't remember. Broken Arrow. It looks like Broken Arrow, but as an FPS or something.
Yeah.
Almost a little bit. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on that. Apparently that is releasing 2026, but there's no date.
Huh.
As of yet. So it looks kind of cool. The last one, which is the most tantalizing one, which has been going all over the Tarkov social media, is Core. So there was a trailer for this new game, Core, COR3 is what it's called. And nobody really knows what this is about, which is very curious. It's clearly Tarkov in space, but it's not a BSG game. But it's got something to do with Nikita.
What? Wait, what?
It's very, So like, it's curious.
Because I saw the like some Twitter personality, not in the Tarkov space, I think, was like, like a games. I don't know. Like, what's that? Whatever. Just some random person was like, new upcoming game from Battlestate Games Studios, Core, and then People are like, yeah, this is fake news. This is not. I think Nikita
This is not
himself even said.
BSG. He did. Yeah. Nikita said this is not. I think I actually even might put the link in. Where did he say? So he said this is not related to BSG or Tarkov. Now, Very Bad Scav. So if you scroll up a little bit, there was Nikita's one.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah.
But the reason why I linked this particular segment was because VBS said, he says this game is not related to Tarkov/BSG, but related to him, which he deleted for some reason.
Eh?
So I'm assuming that Nikita posted somewhere, or maybe in a comment or something else, that like he's involved, but it's not BSG or Tarkov related. Which, I mean, he could be for many reasons. Some people have speculated that he's involved maybe just on the music, because apparently the music sounds very like Gene Burn stuff, which is him, right? This is him. He did all the music for the FT, so maybe they're like, oh, can you do our music? Or, you know,
Yeah.
it would be very sensible if you were. I mean, I don't even know who's making this. I don't even know who's making Core. I've no clue.
Core Corp.
Yeah, Core Corp. I've no idea. But it would seem it would be very sensible if you wanted to make a game to, you know, ask him for, you know, if you were sort of related to Nikita anyway or knew him or whatever, like ask him for some advice, right? Because like,
Sure.
what would you not do if you were starting again? Like, I'm sure he has a lot of those answers. You know, it's like, what mistakes would you avoid next time? But there are some really curious things, like there are Tarkov references in the trailer even.
What? This is weird.
I know the whole thing is really confusing. So the guy in the spacesuit who comes in right at the end, he has like bogateurs on the suit, which is part of the new quest line in Tarkov 1.0.
Bogateurs? What's a
Yeah,
bogateur?
it's like a legendary Slavic warrior of some kind. I also had to look this up ages ago. They're like, I can't remember what somebody described it to me as, but they're kind of like, it's like a legendary hero from folklore kind of thing. It's like
Okay.
something like that. Anyway,
But
so
what
they're
is
called
it?
they're called like the Bogota Squad in Tarkov. They're like the legends or whatever.
But like, how
But
did you
it's on the
infer
guys.
that?
If you go to 117, it's
Oh,
like right
like
at
his
the end.
backpack or something? Oh, 117. Oh,
Go to 1 minute
sorry.
and 17. Yeah. It's the dude floating.
Oh, okay,
That guy.
okay. Gotcha. Okay.
So it's on the tag. So this it raises more questions than it answers. I will admit. So it's very confusing. This thing is apparently on Mars. There's also a website. So if you go to cor3.gg, there's like an interactive kind of some kind of like space bunkery sort of kit warehousey type thing that you can like click on things and see stuff. And there's an ARG involved. It's all very confusing. Obviously, most people who've seen this are in the Tarkov world. Most of the comments on the YouTube one are things like head oxygen tube, or the 10-year countdown to version 1.0 has begun, or I can't wait to hand over my radiation analyzer to Starapist. Things like that, right? So like, so people are pretty. I've got to search a whole planet for Aledex. Like the people are pretty like, you know, it's like it's in the Tarkov lens. So even though it might not have anything to do with BSG or Tarkov, like it's clearly Tarkov related. Now it's quite funny actually, because I saw Pesty did a video about the trailer, like his thoughts or whatever, and something that I hadn't really thought about previously, which he's like, yeah, this new game, like it looks kind of Tarkov like. We don't really know much about it, but like it's kind of Tarkov in space. You know, I'm not really into the space thing, so kind of whatever. And I was like, oh, that's actually really interesting, because I'd kind of just like taken it for granted that people would be interested in this and it'd be cool. But that's because like I'm super into space. It's actually quite funny that I don't play Star Citizen, but I can't put that level of like punishment on my life. But I'd like, if this is like decent from the word go, which I hope it would be. We'll see. I don't know. If it's if it's Tarkov adjacent, like anything could be possible, right? But like, you know, I'm a big sort of like, oh yeah, well, like operations on, you know, mining on Mars, and like there's some bad stuff's happened, like out in
Mm-hmm.
the solar system, we're like traveling around, like man, I get this. I couldn't spec out for you what I would want out of this game,
Yeah.
but there's a certain way that this game could be done,
Of
and I would just be
course.
in love with it.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you what that would look like, but and I haven't ever really played a game that gives me that feeling. I know the feeling I want to feel.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had it from a game. I get it from some movies, but I've never really had it from a game. There's not that many good space games actually. Like space is quite difficult. The closest thing that I would say I've ever had to that is probably X3, which is a big economic like space sim type thing. You know, you start as a lowly trader. Well, I mean, you can play it in many different ways, but like I play it like you start as a lowly trader and slowly over time, over many hours, you know, you like buy a cargo ship and you start moving stuff and like, oh, the price is high over there, and like you get some whatever material and you sell it to whatever alien over there, and like you buy a second one, and then you start to be able to like hire pilots and like then buy automation software, and like you create a vast empire and end up like building your own like, you know, ore miners, and you know, build this huge, and it's that's all like single player. So like that game is like close to what I want, but not really. Star Citizen probably is the game that I want, but I've been talking about Star Citizens like with my IRL friends since we were literal teenagers,
Mm.
and I don't see that project finishing anytime soon. I have
Yeah.
no great desire to jump into it either anytime soon also. So I don't know. There's a small part of me. I'm not getting my hopes up, but there's a small part of me that's like, this could be the one. I don't know. This could be cool. So we'll just like have a look when we get more information. 95% probability of it not being the thing, and 5% chance of it being awesome and being the thing I've been looking for forever. We will see. But yeah, it's just like, it's very curious. It's very secretive. I did have a look a little bit into what people were saying about the ARG. People talking about, you know, it's like people, it's like mining on Mars and all this stuff, and then you've got to like investigate something. You're like an investigator trying to figure out what happened, something like that.
Mm.
I mean, the main thing, if you go to the actual website, what it tells you right at the front is it's 2251. 200 years ago, so 2051, humanity was able to stand at the brink of darkness, survive, and reverse mutual total destruction. The organization that secretly proclaimed itself as the Core was able to gather the remnants of everything human and turn back the tide of destruction by convincing and uniting the governments of the world. That's like the beginning. And then you click, and then you load into this kind of bunker. And then there's like some boxes and like random stuff around with like armor, class 3 colonial armor vest, plate carriers and whatnot, boxes of junk, and then you click on the computer, and then there's the ARG. So
Mm.
at the moment, that's it. That's all we know. The only other part to it that I would say makes it even more curious is that there is a. Let me see if I can find this. I actually don't have this to hand. Hold on. So there is a patent that has been filed for core, or like COR3, and it's not in force at the moment. It's still going through like the process or whatever. But there's all sorts of things
Mm.
listed in this patent, which is like futuristic space stuff. But there's a whole section about like digital assets, cryptocurrency, NFTs, lots of things. And
Ugh.
so some people have like, you know, really honed in on this piece and gone, oh no, it's Nikita's new NFT rug pull game.
Mm-hmm.
Which may be the case. Like, I don't. There's nothing to say that that's not the case, but uh, they also could have just like cast the net really wide, listed everything on there, any random idea they had. Maybe listed it years ago. I'm actually not sure when it was that that was even like went in for registration. I'm not sure. Maybe it was when Web3 looked like a good idea. I don't know. and it's still part of the patent. I don't know. So we'll see. When it appears that it's Nikita's NFT game, then we can all bash on him. But yeah, that's like the only other thing that I think is a bit like curious. And it was filed by Nikita, so
It's filed, but it's so weird. I don't even know.
yeah, it's like really strange. So it's clearly to do with him, but not BSG. And there's no developer listed on like any of the other stuff. It's very curious.
No. Too early to say anything on my end. The only thing, it kind of looks like a Call of Duty game. Am I? Like, I don't know. It's just for something about it just looks Call of Duty, but I mean, yeah, I got nothing.
No, I mean that's fair. That is totally fair because there isn't anything really to say other than just kind of like this exists, and they put this random trailer out, and everyone's like, "Huh?"
Yeah, I mean it's
And
weird.
some people are
The
like, "Hey,
Nikita,
that's cool." And some people are like, "Hey, can you like fix 1.0 first before you make another game?"
yeah, I mean that to me that's the most weirdest part, but I don't really. It's really nothing to say or conclude about it. But yeah, it is just kind of, I don't know, very peculiar. Maybe time will reveal all. That would be nice.
Yeah. So there's a lot on the radar. Honestly, there's a lot on the radar. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's an interesting time. It's an interesting time. So yeah, some cool stuff. Some cool stuff's coming. So yeah, so in short, it'll be marathon first in March. So in 3 weeks' time, marathon. A month after that, Road to Vostok. I'll probably try that and play it. And then we're just looking out for this War Dogs thing whenever that appears, and then keep looking out for news about Core. We shall see.
So I was thinking to myself, what would I like? If I were to make a Tarkov inspired game, really just an extraction shooter, what would I do? And like one of the things I was thinking was like, it's a little bit of a tangent, but we'll get into the last topic here. Was I really like this idea of like you take a MOBA game with like this economy in it. You know, Tarkov's a little different in the sense that it's, I mean, it's a first person shooter. It's not like, instance based, whatever, but there's like a player economy. And but the analogy I'm trying to make here is like with a MOBA, you play a game and like the economy starts at like null. I mean, not null, but like one, I guess. And then like it grows from there. And like you as a player, but then it's like over, right? Like you finish the game, you finish the match, and then like the clock resets on the economy side. Whereas like Tarkov is like you yourself are the like embodiment of that economy side of the game, and you're continually progressing, but like you take bits out of your like piggy bank and sort of like wager it on the match, and so to speak, and but the thing, I don't know, the thing about I like about the MOBAs is like you have like the sort of like build up. You have like the early game economy, and you have like the mid game economy. You have the like the late game economy, and so it's like, what if what if you could like incorporate something like that into like an extraction shooter? Because the one thing I don't like about specifically like Tarkov, but I don't know, I feel like a lot of the extraction shooters kind of have this quote unquote issue is like you have like this sort of like power creep, and there's like this Tarkov philosophy where you know there should be no matchmaking, and like some games have tried to do matchmaking, mixed results. I feel like and if you don't do matchmaking, then you have like this power creep thing, but like that works in its favor because then in like Tarkov world, it's like, oh, you can get head eyes by a broken PM pistol with like one round in it that has like 36 damage and 0 pin, and I don't know, like it's kind of, I was thinking like how could you do something that's more a little bit less vertical in the
Yeah.
progression, but you still kind of like maintain that individual economy that grows for a very long time. But nevertheless, I was just thinking, and I mean, I'll get to my topic, which is like through this thought process, I was thinking like, well, what's like Tarkov's number one shortcoming? And I want to pose this question to you because I'm curious what you think. But before I do, I have to give one caveat. This is not going to be a valid answer. I'm not accepting this. Can't say technical limitations because that's too easy. And what I mean by that is like, net code, cheaters, you know what I mean? Like, you like getting up and the
Does
Tarkov
load time
jank.
count?
Does what?
Yeah. Load time count? Because the problem is
Yeah,
those things are like the top 5
exactly,
things, right?
exactly. Like all that stuff. Like assume that stuff is like solved for. Okay, because I feel like that's a like I think that's genuinely a valid answer, but I feel like it sort of like steps outside. It's more like a meta answer,
Yeah, it doesn't give you any insights into like the game loop or how to make the game better
Yeah,
per se, like in a game sense. Like
exactly,
sure, you don't
exactly.
want to wait 5 minutes for it to load, but like that's kind of a
Yes.
given. It doesn't matter what the gameplay is.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Okay.
part of me feels the root of this is like, as I said, I was playing Tarkov with a friend, and like I'm actually like kind of enjoying it, but at the same time, it's like there's all these like hurdles, the technical stuff, and
Yeah.
but like that aside, it's also just kind of like I don't know, like it's like, am I actually having fun, or am I just like having fun playing a video game with a friend? But anyways,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts?
The first thing that came to mind was is kind of based upon the difficulty of answering the question, why do we play the game in the first place, whenever
Mm-hmm.
another game appears.
Yeah.
And I feel that sometimes maybe I don't know, it's like it's difficult because it's partly one of Tarkov's strengths in some ways. They're like, okay, let's put it this way then. I do think that probably the biggest flaw is that the game is probably too heavy on questing for progression outside of just the ordinary game loop.
Mm-hmm.
And that ends up like consuming most of your problem solving within the game,
Yeah.
which ends up becoming the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that then once you finish doing all the questing that you want to do, you don't really even know how to play the game anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest problem because the game leans so heavily on the quest completion as an end in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of almost detracts from like the actual game because like and this is kind of why I said what I said at the beginning, which is that you get a new game that comes out, and I always go like, oh, why would you play this game over the other game? And people are just like, yeah, but why do you play EFT? And I'm like, it's to do the quest to get better gear to do. They're just like, yeah, but that's just the same. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but Taco's the first one. It's like it kind of like it answers its own question because it existed already. Like it didn't have to answer why should I play all the others because there weren't any others. But now it's like you could very validly answer the question, well, why do we play now? It's just that, well, it's comfortable to play the game that we know and we like to you've got so much sunk time into one game. We already know we enjoy it, and
Yeah.
it's like making
Yeah.
incremental updates, and it's quite fun, like being in the crew for the
Mm-hmm.
game that you know,
Mm-hmm.
and you know all the stuff, and you're not surprised by the jank most of the time. You know how to avoid it. You're like, but I think there's different types of people who play different types of games. I like being an expert on things. I don't like spreading myself very thin. I like being laser focused on like a few things
Yeah.
and being like a real expert on those things rather than being more broad. But I have friends who
Right.
like just play like every game. They play loads of different games. They'd rather be adept at like many things rather than being like a master of like a couple of them. So it kind of depends on the type of player you are. Like I'm totally happy with being that type of player where I eventually want to know everything about the game, and I'm every
Mm-hmm.
time some update, I'm just like, oh, look at all the change, like, oh, and this has this downstream random effect on this thing and that thing and that thing. Like I enjoy that, so
Yeah.
I'm like way too into the sort of Tarkov mindset and the Tarkov like the black hole to escape from that to any other game. Like another game really has to climb very strongly out of that gravity well and then out
Mm-hmm.
into something else, right? Like it has to be a very, very, very strong pull to pull me away and interest me in doing something different. So I think fundamentally, I think it's that. I think the questing loop is like super, super strong and like there really is no other way of playing the game. Really, like there's lots of ways to go about playing Tarkov, but ultimately it comes back to lots of different ways to get the quests done. Because if you don't do that,
Yeah.
like, and there are people who are like quest refuseniks that have appeared now in the community, and they just like play to play without the quests. But I think you really have to be like very much into the game for that to work. Otherwise, I think people kind of like thinking, what am I even doing now? Like, there's no like, is there a real sense of progression then? Like, maybe you just enjoy the gunplay or whatever, but like, I don't know. It's just, it's difficult. It's difficult then. Like, I feel like the game really loses its sort of like unique selling point when you take away the progression and just say, well, all I'm doing now is just playing with what I find, and like that's cool and all, but like I'm playing against people who are playing the progression game, and it's if I was playing it on my own, then that'd be different. Or playing against other people who feel the same way as I do. But if I'm just playing against like the meta people all the time and I'm doing my progression thing, it's a bit like playing hardcore against everyone else who's not playing hardcore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean I feel like the very early days of the flea market back when it was like the Wild West. I feel like that was probably the best landscape for this whole like purist experience of like Tarkov versus
Mm-hmm.
kind of what you're describing now, which is like this very like metagamey aspect of Tarkov that because nowadays it's like you can play like that, but like you're really limiting what
Yeah.
you're like so restricted heavily now. Whereas like before you could just get level 15 and then like it's kind of like the Wild West and you have this like sandboxy type of thing.
Yeah.
Um and I do feel really strongly like there's almost like a legacy, you know, I don't even know what the right word is, but this sort of like veteran appeal to Tarkov, where it's like you've it's not really a sunk cost fallacy. I mean, I guess it is, but like you said, there's like comfort in having like when I even now like there's new quests. Like I had one where it's like go mark shipping containers on customs, and I think therapist gave it to me. Abandoned cargo, maybe.
Mm.
I had to look at the wiki, or
Yeah.
I made my duo. I'm so bad. I'm like, I don't want to look it up on the wiki. I'm just like so over looking stuff up on the wiki.
Mm.
Anyways, but like all the other quests that I know and done, for like the 10th time now, it's like it feels very formulaic, and I guess that feels good, and but it's not necessarily like it's kind of like what we talked about with Arena and the dailies. It's like you're doing the thing to like get you to the next unlock, and it's like the dopamine and stuff. It's
Kinda. Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. I mean, it's hard to say because we've been playing the game for 10 years ish. I mean, probably less, but you and I at least.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. So like a lot of the like, I mean, when you first play the game, it was just like completely. There wasn't anything like this really. I mean, maybe you could say Hunt Shutdown, but I don't know. I feel like this is
Yeah.
enough of a
The economics were like already just like
yeah, yeah.
the money like and the struggle, and that's the thing. It's like it was hard. It was so hard at the beginning, and there was definitely the risk of like actually going broke
It
all the
felt at least
time when
it
you
felt
first
like
start
that for
playing.
sure.
It felt
Yeah,
like that, right? And yeah, and when you didn't know really what to do,
yeah.
it did feel like that.
which I don't know. It's just
But
like
it's different
nowadays.
now.
Yeah, it just feels like it's like gone so far from that in a sense, and some of that is, I think, because as like I said, like legacy players and veterans, like we're so kind of like desensitized, and like everything's become so
Mm.
formulaic and such, and I don't know. It's just, but it feels like with the events, some of them feel like hit or miss, and it's like I don't know. Sometimes it just feels like with BSG, I just like wonder, do they know what makes the game like appealing? You know what I mean? It's like sometimes even I feel like the community, because it's like one thing that I really feel like is like the commitment to realism. I feel like it's like as an aesthetic, I think it's fine, but like the
Mm.
I don't think like what makes the game fun or enjoyable, at least for me, is not like, wow, this AK is like perfectly 3D modeled and printed, and it's got all the, wow, they even put the charging handle or the bolt rack in the right, like, whatever gun stuff. It's just like I don't really care about that stuff, but I guess different folks, but I don't know. I mean, it's I like I like what you said, but I don't know what would be like the next evolution of something like this, because I do feel like there's a lot of like certain luster and like appeal to the Tarkov design, namely
Yeah,
like
I mean, I
the
think
extraction, the core extraction
like
mechanics.
to counter my own point,
Ooh, fun.
the sandbox thing is fine.
Yeah,
Having the sandbox is fine, but like it's. I think the reason why Tarkov gets people so strongly is that like although the questing loop is like really really powerful and just really strong, it's like the only way to really do it. They are they're specific, but you still have to like load into a random map, like play the game. You're like looting on the way.
yeah.
Like rarely you just doing the mission in
Mm-hmm.
exclusion. Like there are some missions like that. There are missions that are more or less like that, I should say. So there's like get kills at dorms means you're probably not
Yeah,
looting very much, right? So there's
yeah.
some very specific ones. But for the most part, like go here, do the thing, mark this, grab that, do whatever, kill scavs. There's quite a lot of them which are like they're loose enough that you're doing them, you know you need to do them, you're kind of searching out the thing to do them, and they guide your hand, but they don't like force you to do too much specifically, which then gives you a reason to go into the sandbox and interact with the sandbox, and then cool stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you don't go into a raid to get into position XYZ to then have a fight with a 3-man and win, right? That's not
Right.
that happens as like a result of you going in to do the quest, but without the quest, like what are you actually going for? So it's like it's a double-edged sword because it's like getting people to interact with the sandbox when there's no goal is quite hard. So to motivate people, you have the quest there, but that's also like the only reason why you're going in. It's like it's a little circular, but because it was, I just think they had really strong first mover advantage, and along with the economic loop of money number go up,
Yeah.
and the game's changed, right? The game has changed over the years, and I think this is also the reason why BSG struggles to figure out like what makes it good. Because at the beginning, as we said before, most people were like struggling. The game was really hard. No one really knew how to do stuff, and there was this like small superclass of like Uber chads,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you'd see them sometimes either on Reddit or you'd see them on YouTube or
Mm-hmm.
wherever, and it was like there was not that many people like that, and you'd see them and just be like, I want to do that. Like I
Yeah.
want to be
Yeah.
that guy one day. Like I want to do that, right? Like now it's a lot less. There's just I think the ratio of the Uber Chad is a lot more of the player base. It's a lot less like sought after in that sort of like legendary sense, and more just like okay, this is just the natural result of the end game. And so the game itself has changed a lot. There's like very few people who are in that because there's a lot more resources too, right? So there's very few people in that like crunch at the beginning. Most people can get through to. I get asked like various questions, but just the nature of the question that are asked of me over time has changed a lot. It's gone from You know, like some people still ask, like, how do I make money or whatever. That never really goes away because there's always new people who haven't figured it out yet. But it's pretty like after a couple of weeks, you probably like figured that out. So the most of the questions I get now is like, I'm at X level. Like, what's the best thing that I can use?
Hmm.
Like the game's very much like that now, rather than like I need to get this stuff out because like this is my last kit.
Yeah.
The money has sort of gone up over time. People know how to make it better. The meta roots have trickled down into the economy and people sort of, or into the community, and people know more just in general what to do. Like they make a post on Reddit and they get like 200 people telling them, go here, go there, go the other place, avoid players and use this extract and blah blah blah. So yeah, I don't know. It's easier to get into the game than it has been, but then the player base is more skilled than ever. Like it's just changed it. Like the mega Chad thing is just like the natural end game now.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of the people playing, there are new people, but a lot of people playing like really kind of know the deal. Like doing quests where you don't even have to look up the wiki because you've done them so many times, but you're only doing them once every 6 months. Sort of prevents the burnout unless you're like really, I don't know, like if you're like an average player, like plays, they do the first like 2 or 3 months, and then you're playing other games for a bit, and then Tarkov's wiped, like would hop back on, like but I know, I know what these quests are. Like there's a certain type of player that just like enjoys coming back for, there's the see what's new, do the same stuff again, like get the progression. It's no big deal. And because it was like 3 months since last time, so it's like, yeah, okay, we'll do it again. That's all right. It's fine. I know people get burnt out eventually, but so it's hard to put your finger on it. It's a bit, yeah. It's a bit circular. Like Tarkov is good because
Mm-hmm.
people like Tarkov in the first place, and then the game's changed, but the game people have still played it. It's got a very core, dedicated fan base. Other games have tried to appear. There's either not as much depth, or it's just unknown, and so people don't like it as much. Like it's got that because it's got that setting that we've talked about before with sci-fi games, where like it's modern, so it's intuitive. You pick up an AK, you know what it is, you know what it
Yeah.
does. There's so many items in the game that you don't know what they are, but there's enough things that you do know what they are. Like you pick up a piece of body armor, it's like, okay, this is kind of obvious what this does.
Right.
Pick up like a bandage, like, oh, maybe that heals a bleed. Like it's you don't know necessarily straight away, but you sort of know enough. And then you get, and that's the thing, it like teases you in, and then it's like, oh, but that's the wrong type of bleed. Which one do I need? And then you're like up on the wiki, it's just like, oh, there's like the 2 types of bleed, and there's 2 types of bandage for the different. Okay, fine. But at this point, you're like looking up stuff on the wiki. You're like you're already in. You're done for already. It's like
Yeah.
it's just you're sucked in.
I think another way of contextualizing this is like instead of asking what's the number one flaw, like what's the number one, I don't know what the word would be, but like whatever the opposite of flaw is. Like what makes
Floor
Tarkov.
versus draw. What is the number one draw of EFT?
There you go. Whoa, that's a YouTube title right there. And it's like I think when you first start out, you have to like solve for survival. You're like trying to figure out like, okay, how do I like extract? You know what I mean? And like
Yeah,
you approach the game from like a very different point of view, whereas like after like your first wipe or two, now you're no longer solving for like how do I survive? You're like solving for like how do I thrive? Or doing doing very fun.
they're doing really good at the rhymes.
Yeah, but no, really, and it's
Draw
like
to
how.
the draw to survive to thrive. It's great.
But you start like trying to figure out like how do I like maximize my, you know, progression of my. How do I keep, now that I got like the basics, how do I like go further? How do I become that Giga Chad? And like I don't know, the thing that I wish BSG would try to do, and maybe the truth is that they have, and the data shows that people don't like it, and that is, can you take me back to the, like, I want to feel like I need to like survive again. You know what I mean? Like, and they kind of do that with the quest in ways. Like sometimes you have a really annoying quest and it sucks a lot, but like once you finally complete it, like Shooter Born, for example, wasn't that like actual literal hell for you? And like
You mean
final.
Psycho? So Shooter Bomb was okay. Psycho Sniper was the one
Oh really? Well, what did you go offline for Shooter Born? Because it's just like,
for Psycho Sniper.
oh, okay, my mistake,
Because Shooter Born, you can die in Shooter Born. You just need to get the headshots.
Yeah.
Psycho Sniper was the one that I I went, I lost it. I lost my mind.
But it kind of captures that feeling of like you're just trying to survive a raid on customs and not die to a scav in a very like extrapolated sense because you're so the chain of your Tarkov experience is so many levels deep now.
Yeah.
But the I guess the issue with that is like you have to like keep adding things on to it. Like you gotta add a new task. And it's like, what's the next most annoying thing you gotta do? Well, you gotta like kill Tagilla with a flare pistol. Oh, that's gonna be so much fun. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't know. It's hard. And then I say what I said earlier about the data says otherwise. Is like they did the hardcore thing and people didn't like it. But I mean, maybe that's execution. I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe it's just the nature of extraction shooters. Like they are kind of when we're talking fundamentals, like you're playing this sort of like military, it's based off the PMC, private military contractor, so like you're kind of like building up your network, taking on these jobs, you're in it for the money type of idea. And so naturally as you get better at that, like it kind of wears off that experience. I don't know. It's curious because playing something like the Cycle, it didn't feel like Tarkov early wipe, and part of that is because like when you first play Tarkov, like your AK-74U is on single fire, and you're like, why is it on single fire? And you're spawning in the corner factory, and there's just like 2 Giga Chad staring at you at the forklift, and you're like, guys, I just want to like, I just want to like survive a raid. That would be nice. Whereas like the Cycle, it didn't really feel like that. It was just like
I know, and the game asks you to take in like annoying stuff, like a 2x2 random toolkit to go and like fix a stupid thing, right? It's just like it asks you to do dumb crap that other games don't ask you to do. It's like it's part of the forging experience.
It really is. But I don't know. It's just like I keep coming back to this thing where it's just like, if you assume Tarkov had 0 technical issues, would it be the perfect game? Probably not. But I still just it would be pretty good, yeah. But like I just I don't know, something about it's a tricky one.
It is tough. I saw it reminded me of something I saw when I was scrolling around earlier. Very bad scav put up a couple of days ago. He put, the more and more I talk about things related to Tarkov, it reminds me of a famous Korean singer's quote. And he's basically translated this thing, and it says, a true superstar drives both the fans and the audience crazy. The people, you and I, are not superstars, they're just stars. There must be people who hate it, so the people who can like it to love it to the point of going crazy.
Yeah.
He's like photoshopped a picture of Nikita of the guy's head. But that's the thing, like, Tarkov, it elicits both emotions, right? From like
it does
pure joy to like
agony.
full on like adrenaline, total agony.
Despair,
I mean, I've experienced that in the past year, even, right? Like being so many years in the past year, I've had like that clip on Shoreline where I killed the 2 guys with the STM, or not even STM, the Saiga 9. Like the last round bounces off the guy's helmet, and like we're both in a reload battle, literally facing each other, and then I headshot the guy.
Yeah.
Like my hands were like buzzing with adrenaline. I haven't had that for ages.
Yeah.
To like doing Psycho Sniper offline because I'm like so depressed. It's like, and that's all in the last year.
Yeah, that's crazy. Actually, when you feel
Probably
like
the last 6 months, even. Like it's insane. The game still does that to me now.
Mm-hmm.
And you get like a big raid, and you're like, oh man, like it feels great, right? Like I had like insane like Shootborn in Heaven Woods raid. Killed like I think I killed 5. They killed 5 players and then Sturman in the last 3 minutes of the raid. It was like mental. I've like never experienced anything like it. I got 4 out of 5 Shooterborn in Heaven's done in one raid, and then it was just like, well, Sturman's still here, so what the hell? And just like killed him at the end as well. Just like, all right. It's just like it just feels insane, right? Just like this is just, oh my god. But that happens rarely. Like the full bell curve of experience, right? And it's like
Yeah.
there's moments of true despair, and then moments of like true, just like I can't believe we pulled that off, and then a big block of 90% of the stuff in the middle, which is just like die at the start of the raid, or you go through and just have to don't see anybody, or like even you kill one player, but he's like level 19 and he's got an MP5. So, okay, whatever. Or like you get halfway through and then you just got shot by somebody who's like just in a position that you just didn't see, and that's like you go back and go like, how did I not see that guy? And like you're using the Schmidt and Bender on a scar, and then the scope is in the way and you just can't see him. Okay. So this is the thing. It's like you have to go through all those experience. Like you can't have the extreme outlier experience
Right.
without having the body of experience that go with it. This is the thing, It's like Battlefield or COD. It's like if all the experiences are crazy and high octane, like it makes none of the experiences crazy and high octane in some ways. So like the fact
Yeah.
that Tarkov
Yeah.
not much happens. It was like it reminds me back like before Tarkov. It reminds me back to DayZ. When we played Vanilla DayZ, the mod,
Mm-hmm.
because we never managed to get into standalone. I actually tried a couple of times with the group. We just never got into it. But we played the armor mod a couple of for a couple of years, and yeah, it's just like that. It's that crazy thing of because that game is so slow. It's even slower than EFT. Like Vanilla DayZ is like painful. It's glacial, right? Is the pace that I would call it. It's glacial, but that means that you can go like 3 days where you're just like camping with your mates in the forest. Right, it's
Yeah.
just like and we weren't like big survival players
Mm-hmm.
particularly. So we were like playing it from the beginning, like trying to learn what to do. It's like oh, you kill the cow and then you're cooking the meat and you're like boiling the water so you don't get disease, and like the game's like super buggy. So you have to figure out all this stuff. And then on the third night you're like we're stood around, and then someone gets sniped out of nowhere, and it's just like pure panic and just like chaos. Like it's just but you can't have that moment without the downtime that comes
Yeah.
with it, right? Because
Yeah,
like
that's true.
otherwise you're kind of
Yeah.
expecting it, right? You like it's not even because Tarkov doesn't even have those moments really. It does sometimes, but like you're in raids, so you're always kind of on edge because there's people nearby. Whereas in like
Mm-hmm.
DayZ, like sometimes there's just nobody for kilometers. Like you're out in the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere. There just isn't anybody there realistically. So you are actually not worried. It's like that's more like real life. Tarkov, you've
Mm.
got it's the experience of going to the town to get stuff in DayZ. It's that experience
Yeah.
distilled into like the gameplay. Like the stuff of like when you're not in the town, you're out of raid is all abstracted into the stash in Tarkov. Whereas in DayZ, you're like out at your camp in the forest in the middle of freaking nowhere where no one should be there. So you're literally just like chilling with the homies,
Mm.
like planning what you're going to do next, like cooking stuff up, like sorting your supplies. So when someone does get shot in that scenario, it's like absolutely bonkers. It's the only other thing that I can think that's sort of similar in some ways, or like Final Circle PUBG, because again, it didn't happen that often.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
a similar thing. And another thing, it can't happen that often. It's just the way humans are, right? It's like if the cool thing happens all the time, we just get used to it. It's like
Yeah.
we're relative creatures. We just are. Have your hand outside, and then you come into the house. It feels like boiling hot, right? But like if you've been sat still for 6 hours working on the PC, it probably feels actually quite cool. With like everything about our bodies and our senses and the way that we see the world is relative. Everything. And it's the way that we feel about many things too. It's like you can feel really hard done by for seeing your neighbor with like slightly better things, even if you've got, a 1% lifestyle. It's how humanity it just is. It's just how we are.
Yeah.
So a very existential way of coming back to say why these games are good and elicit so much emotion, but like it's this is the truth. You have to understand like, it's all human psychology at the end of the day. Video games are one manifestation of the way we work. It's one small piece of the full puzzle of the way we work, and it's just that's why they're so compelling sometimes. Once you get into it, you still see things now on Reddit, people being like, "I never really got Tarkov, and then I played this raid today, and like now I understand."
Yeah.
Unless you've had the 5% tail raid where you get all the cool stuff, you think the game probably just sucks. If you play like the body of 90% of it with 5% crushing defeats, then you're just like, man, this game's just like awful. And then you have that one moment where like you do just luckily kill two people who are like not really paying attention or like but they're super geared, and then you like drag 60 kilos out of the raid when you're level like 14 and get like 3 levels in one go, and you're like, oh, I understand now, I get it.
Yeah. I think that's another reason why I like some of these extract shooters that kind of play things too safe or almost too the best word I could put is like esporty.
Hmm.
Like I feel like the having those upsets, those like 1%, 5%. Like I've always felt like they need to have like a gun that's like, I mean this wouldn't fit in Tarkov, but it's like a PM pistol and it has like, you can buy ammo that's like I don't know, like a like a GP40 and it's like screwed onto the PM pistol and it's like a 1% chance to like actually go off and like project towards the guy and blowing up and then like 98% time it just blows your hand off, It's just like the most like, jank gun. It costs like 5 rubles, just something that's like just something like that that's like funny. Um that kind of creates those moments. But anyways, I like that. That was really cool. I think my takeaway is I ultimately just want to play more games like Tarkov that give me those range of emotions, It's just it's very I think you can get that in a lot of games, but with Tarkov it's like very feels very at times it can feel very strong and very polarizing, like very very intense.
Yep, that's true.
It's unique.
Yes, indeed.
One of the things that speaking of intense and polarizing emotions, I about lost it because I had a jam because I didn't repair my gun one raid when I was playing my duo. And I realized, after spamming the button, I realized I had to like hold it and release because I have it because you have to inspect the
So that
gun
way, yeah.
and then you can once you've learned the type of jam. And then I had an epiphany. I was like, I was ranting to my duo. I was like, "Oh, but I can get a light bleed, and I magically know it's a light bleed, and not a I don't have to like inspect my bleed." I was just like going on a tangent. just, I'm like, what would you say? I'm so sensitive when it comes to Tarkov now. Just like the littlest thing will just send me off.
Spiraling off into the
Yeah, I'm just like I'm like chill 90% time, but like just the 10% of the time it's just like, oh my god, Nikita is actually trying to like torture me. He's out to get me.
yeah. Personally, you
Yeah,
specifically.
yeah. Me specifically.
He's like looking over my raids, just like I know how to fuck with him.
T5000 scav. Enter.
Yeah.
Deploy.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. All right.
Cool.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a good cast. I think we'll conclude it here until next time. Try to get back on a semi-normal schedule, but thanks everyone for tuning in.
Yes.
And with that, we'll see you all next week.
Catch you later.